Hi, Otters. So for the past week, I was trying to increase my retention rate. By all means, just to make sure that my new customers, not customer, they haven't paid. My new users can stay on the app for as long as possible. And the thing that I've done is to allow people to reply more posts than they previously allowed, which is from 3 to 5, because before my retention rate is somewhere around 18%, like day one retention rate 18%. So if you can only reply one post, then it's likely that you don't get any reply people because yeah, you can do the math. But so that's the reason why I increased it to 5 posts, just so that if they do come back the next day, they're more likely to have a reply, and that they can then enjoy a nice chat, and then really kind of see the value of the app and stay for longer and try to create a post of their own and to interact more with other posts, aka users. And I'm glad to see that after this implementation, my retention rate increased. Now it's like 23. So yeah, I'm kind of happy, but there's still a long way to go, because for my longer term retention rate, which is more important, as in how many people will stay using the app, that there's still a lot of room for improvement. Currently it's like 10%. But I mean, I in a way, my app haven't been live for that long, so it's not accurate. But so I still need to, give it more time to observe. Yeah, but then I'm just trying to also with the email campaign set up, just so that my my users will come back and really get to see the benefit, or feel the benefit, or experience the benefit, which is the virtue when it comes to increasing retention rate. It's challenging, but also interesting at the same time, because I need to then make sure that at all possible places I put my value clear, what may be the value that they can get, or at least they know what they'll get from the app. And even if they don't come back the next day, whenever they come across something, they know that, okay, this is something that I can post on the app. So trying to do that, and I think so far I've done all possible measures that I can think of, and we'll see, or I'll revisit it after a month or so. The other thing is to start testing on putting posts that's post on my social media, which are posts that I find interesting, that people created in Otter Curiosity, just so that and these topics that I chose are most likely those that's open for public discussions, just because then I can have more people's awareness on the topic, and probably think more about it, and also so that even if they don't, yeah, I mean, ideally people can discuss beneath it, but we'll give it time. I'm not rushing it. But I do thank Wendy, who left a comment and shared her thought in one of the Instagram posts. Yeah, so a huge shout out to you. I should actually drop you a note. But then, yeah, it's like I'm just gonna give it time, and also in a way, it's kind of to showcase that I encourage people to do these as well, because some topics need to have more attention from the public, and that's part of the things that I want to do as well, is that people know that there's an issue there, and if they are afraid to discuss publicly because their identity or privacy may be exposed, then they can come to my app and have this discussion and share their thoughts, and probably we can come up with something that's actually tangible and productive to the society. Yeah, for the last week, I also refined my website. So now it's more like a paragraph instead of like bullet points. And I do find that it's probably more approachable for users. And then I also added in a section that is to showcase, not really showcase, to kind of explain a bit of the reason why I want to design Otter Curiosity, the reason behind the story behind what I want, what I want to achieve with the app, and some links to some videos that I really hope people can have a look or a read, because that can really change your mind and really help you in thinking of how to have discussions with people and how to really have discussion, especially have discussion with people those probably approach as mean or not really open. How do you face those kind of situations? Because debate always feel like something intense, but it doesn't have to be, or like it's intense, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I hate the other side, but it's more like I'm challenging your thinking, but at the same time, I'm challenging mine as well. And I hope that you can challenge my thinking, because then I can learn something I can take away with something, instead of just something I know. So that's the beauty of debate. I hope that people see it in a more positive way. So do you have a read or a look of the videos that I put on? I selected them out of, well, I think 80 videos. But yeah, those are the best of the best, or like the videos that I think most narrate the idea that I want to deliver, and I hope people can abide by when they have discussion with other users on the app. And there's another section that's about user tips, because there are some, not some tips that's not so obvious, but for those who's curious to learn, I put it on there, just so that probably it's gonna make your life easier. I didn't have these kind of feature explained in the app just because there's just so little space, and I'm a minimalist, so I just hate putting lots of stuff to annoy people. And those who's curious to learn, they will go find it out, but for those who don't, I can just leave it that way. So far, on Otter Curiosity, there are around 70 to 80 daily active users, and I thank them with all my heart, because it's really, I really appreciate it, because in a way it shows that the app is actually working the way that I want it to work. And I do have active patrols, so I do check through the message people send, the post people send, but I mean, I cannot crack down the identity of each person, because you don't really leave anything other than your email to me. But yeah, through the text, I can feel like people are enjoying it, people feel comforted, or just having someone to talk to, or really struggling to find solution, but now having a platform for them to really get people, to pick people's brain and get their thoughts, so that they can probably have a better perspective, or at least to vent in a way that eventually they don't feel like they need to face it alone. So I'm glad that people are willing to stay and use the app. I thank them very much, and also they're very active in letting me, like, sharing their feedbacks and their thoughts on the app, and some of them really appreciate the app, seeing the value of it. So yeah, I do thank you as well, because this is really something that I couldn't ask for, and I do thank you all, because then you see the value, and you do enjoy the app. So thank you very much. One of the struggles I've been having for the past week or two is, as I collect more feedbacks, they kind of pile up, and sometimes it's overwhelming because I need to then. At the time, it's not ideal that I just react upon all kind of feedbacks, because it's better that I collect them, and then once I collect them, see them from afar, and then see how I can pull them together or coordinate together, or probably some issue isn't really actually issue, but it's actually another issue. So it's kind of like a balance between these two, but at the same time, I'm someone who's eager to really get things done, solved. So I'm struggling mentally, as in, okay, this is something I need to do, I'm gonna do it. Some things are like, okay, I need to hold on it, but at the same time, my mind is still telling me that I need to do that. I need to review it, but then when should I then revisit this issue? And even if I try to hit pause, it's still running in my mind. In a good way and in a bad way. In a good way is that sometimes, you, as long as like the longer one idea stick in your mind, for somehow it come up with a new solution there you didn't think of. But the bad thing is that it's kind of like your mind and your brain is nonstop thinking of shit. Sorry for the use of the word. But I'm glad that just like 2 hours ago, I kind of just, sit down, go through all of them, break them down a bit further, and then also, cross out the things that I wouldn't do, or like not really cross out things. It's kind of like prioritization. What are the things that I want to do for now, and then try to put them into my calendar. And it's always a struggle when it comes to timeline in development. I try not to stress myself a bit too much, but at the same time, I don't know how long I'll need to achieve certain stuff. But also, it's a hard balance. The other thing that stressed me a little bit is because whenever there's something that I need to implement, or I think I need to implement, I will need to like think of how I can implement it. And some of the things that I was like, I'm not so sure how I can do it with the limitation that I have, which is the use of Flutter Flow to stay in this platform, but then also like using which third-party service to use, so that I can cut the expense as much as possible, just so that I don't need to put those expenses on my users, and to have this a sustainable to have this as a sustainable platform. I for the past week I spent some time learning some of the new concept that I knew before, but only the surface, and then now I'm just kind of face the devil, and then really try to understand how I can use it. But before, I know it's important, but it's like, procrastinating. I was like, yeah, probably I don't need to use it, so, something like that. But now I'm just like, okay, now I really need to use it. Let me learn how I can use it. So yeah, it's kind of like a mental process as well, to step by step get to the point that, okay, now I feel like I'm mentally prepared to solve this issue as well. So yeah, one issue may seem like one issue, but for me to get there, it's to even get to start solving it takes a lot of steps. But yeah, it just comes with time, I guess. For now, I'm kind of still slowly pushing my app, because I do realize that there are more things that I can do, although I've been refining the app for the past few weeks already. And I'm glad that I solved the ghosting message, or like the repetition of sending message, and also like misdirection of the notifications. I hope those are refined, or at least the chance of error is close to zero now. So yeah, that's the main issue. I'm glad that I get that solved. There are more to do though. My overall timeline is pushed again, but it's in a way so that I don't feel the pressure that high that I need to have everything done. It's kind of like in a way prioritization and have my feet on the ground, knowing okay, I'm not genius. I only have this amount of time. If I go over it, I'm gonna self-destruct. So I'm just gonna take it one step one step at a time. So if you wonder how come I never post my own app promotion on my personal accounts on like Facebook or like Instagram, I only have it limited to like very close friends. The reason is I think there's still some work that I can do before using my own personal, like general personal contact, because that's kind of like the ace. If there's no new users, then that's the ace, but then it's an ace that I cannot abuse. So if only that, okay, my app is really dying, I really need people to catch up, to bring in people, or I feel like okay, now is the time I need to really push it to a bigger crowd, then I'll do then that's the time when I'll try to use my personal contact, because that's a one-off thing. If I wouldn't fail, but personal contact, it means that it's not close friends, but like people that I know, or people probably know me, who know me. They probably will be kind enough to open it or download it once, but for them to stick, I really need to deliver value. So yeah, I want to really get to the point that I feel like okay, it's at a better place now. I feel more comfortable that if I push it to my personal contact, they will stick, or even further, they will stick, and also they enjoy it and they'll share it, so that there is kind of like a compounding effect. So yeah, I'm taking it. I'm taking my time. Okay, sorry, this video is like 17 minutes now. I'm gonna shut up. Cool, thank you guys. See you next week.